Hello, Connected. I'm going to do a basic energy read today. Okay, we got storm warning and victory. So that was the energy oracle cards. We're going to do the Empaths empowerment deck. See, whoa, went on the other side of the table. All right, hold on. I'm just going to go through the whole thing, and then let me go get it. Wow. Okay, what do we got? Oh. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. We're also going to pull from the Getting Into the Vortex deck. I'll take one or two from this one. All right, let's see what else we got. One more? One more? Two more? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. There are many right ways for us to behave. Why do I want the relationships I want? Seen this card before. I intend to see the best in everyone. And our opinions about our children can influence their behavior. All right. All right, we can see them all. And then we'll pull one more. One from the Angel Guide Oracle from Kyle Gray. All right, what's that? We've got strength and guidance. All right, I think that should probably go up here. And put that one there. You know, I did a video where I was talking about, you know, people being the lighthouse and other people being the storm. And the video was kind of I don't know what word I want to use. It was like the type of video that I would have preferred to shoot maybe something, you know, lighter. And you know, I've been talking to my guides since then and saying, hey, can we you know, get some happier messages in here because some of this stuff is like, we're talking about it like right up front, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's why I created the channel, but you know, I really wanted to kind of, you know, I mean, when I was in the beginning of my spiritual awakening, I needed encouragement. And that's part of the reason why I was doing like the short card reads too, which I'm going to keep doing. But it was because, you know, every day I just needed that little, you know, hey, we're watching, you're doing a good job, or, you know, just any small thing. And that's kind of what I was asking my guys for. I'm like, hey, you know, can you give me some positive messages for people? Because I don't want it to be all like doom and gloom all the time, you know, or, you know, leave this person, or, you know, whatever's coming up in these reads for whatever reason. And you know, this storm card, that whole story was about, just really reminds me of someone who just doesn't know how to act, you know, someone in your life who just doesn't know how, that person that you can't take anywhere. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like when you go somewhere and then there's like something's happening that's like not conducive to like, having fun, and then that person starts to go sideways, and then everybody has to kind of like, either run for cover or kind of like come in as support. That person, you guys know what I'm talking about. So, in this situation, I mean, I do see a situation where you're not, losing. Like sometimes when you have a relationship where there's just a constant storm, you usually do get you usually do get like sucked like right in here. you get pulled up, and then kind of shot out over there, and you end up, wherever the hell you end up. But in this situation, in this particular reading here, I don't see that. And part of the reason why is your own strength. And part of the reason why is because you're listening to your guides. You're listening to guidance, wherever it's coming from. It could be coming from your inner self. It could be coming from your ancestors. It could be coming from your, your spirit guides. And this is helping you to be victorious in weathering this storm. Being able to see the best in everyone, being able to see that what's underneath what's happening. Let me read this card to you. You can never consistently motivate anyone to anything, but when you see the best of them and you go over to where your version of the best of them is, and you align with that and offer one signal, now you are a part of the inspiration you see. Have you ever had that experience yourself when someone sees you and loves you and expects the best of you? Do you not shine in ways you never shined before? And do you not find it really hard to shine when another does not look for the best in you? I intend to see the best in everyone. It's almost, the flip side of this card is like when you meet someone and you just want to be better. You just want to be like better than your version of you today. Like their very presence in your life causes you to want to be better every single day. And our opinions about our children can influence their behavior. Yeah. Well, and if this is your child we're talking about, I will say that for me and for other people that I've known as well, what it really boils down to when it comes down to your kids is that some things in life that we give our kids a hard time about is not worth our relationship with our children. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be something that they're actually supposed to be doing, like say in school, but that they're not 100% capable of what the system is asking them. And that harping on them is not going to change that in them. And you want them to thrive, and you feel bad because you give them a hard time, and they're doing the best they can, So if you even portray an opinion about your child to that child, that can influence that behavior back from that child. If you say something like, "Oh, Timmy's really quiet," you're basically instructing Timmy to be quiet. And Timmy just might not have anything to say. Sorry. Why do I want the relationships I want? It's kind of like what I'm talking about right now. Like we decide when we're in relationships, how someone's supposed to be. The person's not supposed to be like that. Why are they acting that way? Their mama didn't teach them right? What the hell's going on? Why is this person being this way? Oops, sorry with the camera. The idea is to slow down. Let me read this one. To avoid burnout, don't do too much too fast. Going slower lets you appreciate the miracle of the moment and the richness of your life. When things aren't all bad, when they're just sometimes bad or a little bit bad or one person's sort of bad, it's easier to see, those things that you appreciate in life. It's easier to have that victory because your mindset is more more positive. And when you do exercise that strength and you do listen to your inner guidance, or any guidance that's good guidance, could even be from your friends. I mean, just as well friends can misguide them, each other, and they can also give each other good advice. So that does exist somewhere on this planet. If you know where it is, put it in the comments for me. Okay, sorry. And there are many right ways for us to behave. Yeah. Actually, let me read this before I keep talking about it. It is possible to live upon this planet with large numbers of other beings who believe and behave in a variety of ways in peace. When you are able to focus in such a way as to allow your alignment with Source, even though others are choosing to behave differently than you are choosing, then you will truly be free from the bondage of attempting the impossible task of getting everyone to agree on one right way. One right way would lead to endedness. Many right ways allow eternal expansion. I do really actually think it is a little bit about, slowing down and, thinking about the relationships that you want, not just with your children, but with other people too. Any kind of relationship. I mean, most of the time people don't really take the time to stop and think about like what kind of relationships they want, like in a romantic partner. Like they sort of just fall in love and then try to figure each other out. And then it's not until after it falls apart that person is like, why do I keep why. But if you keep trying to, see the best in people, if you do let people be who they are, some people do have issues they're trying to deal with, like realistically they're trying to deal with it and they're trying to protect themselves and they do get upset. And, sometimes it is just a matter of knowing how to handle that person. It really is. It really is. Trusting your intuition, having strength, being that rock for that person at that time. It's possible. If you pay attention, you really can get through it in a way that doesn't make it feel so much like a hard lesson. We do learn stuff on this planet more like when it's, I want to say, adverse or negative, because that's, really people, you put your hand on the stove and you burn yourself and you go, I'm not going to put my hand on the stove again, but realistically you can also, if there's a mild situation, pay attention to the signs, but you can also ask your guides, like, hey, you don't have to shock the crap out of me anymore. Like, you can just try to teach me things without, making everything so crazy. And they'll work with you, if you slow down, listen, you will be able to do it. I don't care what storm, I don't care what category it is. As long as, and once in a while that storm can slow down enough too, to see that it's not all about them. It's not the storm channel, storms all the time. You'll know when it's right. You'll know when someone's genuine and when they just want attention. When someone just can't control their emotions and when they're, really hurting. And it doesn't mean they're not hurting if they can't control their emotions. But, if you're just always with your pedal, to the metal, then who cares about what degrees of slowing down, You really have to, once in a while, give somebody a gauge. Somebody's got to give you a gauge so that okay, this is a bad storm. Okay, this is if it's just a constant storm, that's different. If you slow down enough, you'll see it. Listen to your guides, have some strength. You'll be like, I'm tired of this. I'm out of here. Nope. Sorry. That storm has lasted too long. You can do that too. Sometimes it's just not the time. Sometimes it's, sometimes the person has to lose you to understand what they need to do. And sometimes it's even dumber because they try to replace you because they're toxic. And they kind of do all this stuff to try to pick someone just like you, just to find out that nobody's like you. So sometimes you have to wait for that. And then sometimes, you might be afraid, I might not want this person back. They have gone too long. I might just move on, and that's okay too. It's really okay. It's possibility sometimes that's actually what was supposed to happen. Sometimes when you hang on to stuff, you wait, you block what's coming in. Sometimes they're supposed to leave. Sometimes they're not for you. So this is really hard to get out of it sometimes. And then if you get the opportunity, like they want you to no, it was too hard to get out. You need to slow down. You're category 5. But like I said, it's just really about other people's behavior, how you relate to them, what you need to do to be able to truly see what's going on. Sometimes and when somebody's in the act of hurting you, you can say, okay, this person's doing this because of this. And it's a little bit easier to deal with them, until you don't want to anymore. Until we meet again.